Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie is excused. Director Rundy?
Here.
Director Hayes?
Here.
Director Roth is not present. Director Moore?
Here.
Director Gray?
Here.
And President Bradley.
Here, we have a quorum. I'll call a meeting to order.
From the President, plans and specifications for letting number 8607, Wilmore Park improvements. Plans and specifications for letting number 8611, Building 42 entrance on Banshee Road at Lambert St. Louis International Airport. Contract and bond for letting number 8603, replacement of existing water line from Concourse C to D and rehabilitation to Gate C10 Trench Drain, Lambert St. Louis International Airport. From the President, Director of Public Utilities and Streets. Joint recommendation that permit for Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District for a permanent easement and temporary construction easements for property owned by the City of St. Louis at 140 Rear Fanning for the duration of construction currently anticipated for 27 months in City Block 3280. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following permits be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. Washington University in St. Louis beginning at 6254 Forest Park Parkway in Style 3 1.25 HDPE conduits directionally bore from an existing manhole in South Parkway of Forest Park Parkway west of North Skinker to building at 700 Rosedale. Conduit routing will run west on Forest Park Parkway. Washington University to install 3 1.25 conduits directionally bore from an existing manhole in North Taylor, north of Forest Park to south side of 700 Rosedale. Conduit routing will run north on Taylor to Delmore, west on Delmore to Clara, north on Clara to Clemens to Metro Tracks, etc. Southwestern Bell Telephone Company doing business as AT&T. Stored at manhole at the front of 4229 Beck. From this pole will bore south across the intersection and down Morgan Ford for 315 feet, 2 feet off the curb line. Will turn in place at 2 feet by 3 feet by 2 feet hand pole in the sidewalk and continue on private property at 3716 Morgan Ford. Southwestern Bell Telephone Company doing business as AT&T Missouri, stored at existing AT&T manhole located at the front of 2900 South Grand, bore south down Grand for 149 feet, turn and bore east down the alley for 93 feet, then turn and enter the building at 2900 South Grand. Total right-of-way footage is 244 feet. AT&T Missouri, starting from existing manhole at the rear of 4175 Flora Place, bored 30 feet to new 3 by 5 by 3 handhole placed in right-of-way at the rear of 4175 Russell. From handhole, hand dig 2 feet to new 4 by 4 concrete pad with distribution box. Place 2 protective bollards. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Utilities and Public Safety, joint recommendation that permit for Shelton Arts Foundation to consolidate land at 3646 through 48, 3656, 3664, 3670, and 3700 Washington in City Block 2287. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Streets, recommendation that Filoni's to encroach with banners on 6 light poles, 2 on Waldemore and 4 on Manchester at 6715 Manchester. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Safety, recommendation that 8 festival zones be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. Lunchtime live DSLP at the old post office plaza on Locust between 8th and 9th, block meters on 9th Street for band parking, food trucks on Locust every Friday from May 6th through September 30th, live music from 11:30 to 1:30. Annie Malone to declare a festival zone at Market from Broadway to Jefferson and all parks and plazas on May 15, 2016. Cafe Natasha Gin Festival to declare a festival zone at Cafe Natasha on South Grand, May 21st, 2016. Coleman Race for the Cure to declare a festival zone at Memorial Parks and streets including Market, Chestnut, Pine, Olive, and Cross Streets, including Run and Walk, Expo area, and many giveaways on June 11, 2016. Juneteenth National Anthem Parade to declare a festival zone for the parade with vehicles starting at Delmore and Vandervender, west of Delmore to Taylor, north on Taylor to Page, and stop at Beckett Park on June 18, 2016. Slide the City to declare a festival zone at Oakland between Tam and Hampton on July 9, 2016. Bristol Day Walking Parade to declare a festival zone at Pontiac Park and streets on Soulard on July 16, 2016. And Downtown Historic Society to declare a festival zone at Town between Clayton and West Park on September 17, 2016. Now we have the conditional uses.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Mosier, zoning plan examiner, representing the building commissioner. Per board order number 766, transmitted herewith our recommendations for the following conditional use agenda applications. Approval with conditions is recommended for 6 applications: 3155 Alfred, 5811 Plymouth, 6155 West Florissant, 5653 Enright, 5105 Hampton, 5658 Enright. I request that these recommendations be approved as submitted.
Just point of clarification, we have 2 different permits for our 2 adjacent addresses on Enright. Is it exactly the same thing on both parcels, or is it overlapping one, or?
They are 2 parking lots that are one and the same, essentially, as far as the overall project. I brought the plans down if anybody wants to clarify. It overlaps, I do believe. Yeah.
It's basically one parking lot, they're adjacent to each other.
Correct.
These are 2 separate parcels.
Correct.
Okay. Any questions on the conditional uses?
Rich, you had asked about Enright. Wouldn't they be on the other side of the street from each other? Unless my eyes are bad. 53 and 58? They wouldn't be adjacent if they're even and odd.
Good question.
56, 53, 56, 58.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe a typo or something, Dylan, I don't know.
Oh, my apologies. That's what it is. I apologize for the incorrect information. It's actually they're at a cul-de-sac. They do face each other, essentially. They don't touch. They are across from each other, but they come together, essentially, at the bubble roundabout at the end of a cul-de-sac.
Okay, so they're across the street from each other as opposed to adjacent.
My
And each
apologies.
one notes that there are 28 spaces and about a $4.5 million project, so I'm assuming they're mirror images of each other, basically?
Well, one has slanted parking, and the other has like a 90-degree angle parking. The project cost, I think, refers to the larger building that these parking lots are going to service.
Okay.
Because it's what was the number again? I'm sorry, I don't have it right in front of me.
56, 53, and 56, 58.
Oh no, the project cost
I'm
that's
sorry.
quoted in there. It's in the millions, correct?
Okay.
Okay.
You said 4.5 million.
Yeah, I think that if I'd have to reread the thing, but I believe that price quote is for the project of the children's center that the parking lot is going to be servicing.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Okay. Seeing none, I'll take a motion, please.
Move to accept the conditional use permits as recommended.
Second.
Okay. Moved and seconded for approval. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie is excused. Director Rundy.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Ross.
Aye.
Director Moore.
Aye.
Director Gray.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye, the conditional uses are approved.
Recommendation that permit for Huckleberry Finn Youth Hostel to operate a rooming house at 1904 through 06 South 12th Street and 1908 South 12th Street be revoked.
Okay.
Is that a separate vote, or is that part of the?
Maybe we could table it and look into it. I think it's somewhere. I think it's on the last page, yeah.
Yeah, on the very.
It's on the last.
Normally I put that revoke denied at the beginning, so that's why I said it at the beginning.
I've been around for one, so yeah, we. Is it appropriate? That's what I was saying, but if it had a hearing in the first place.
Actually, they should have smoothed down.
Tony Messenger, your buddy, is keeping you busy, isn't he? Is he that one piece, he said, he's gonna mention you as a colleague. I was curious, I'd said to myself, I'm gonna ask Eddie if he's buddies with him or
I'll
not.
pull the previous one.
Well, we always got along, and I mean, I like him, and he likes me, you know, and we haven't been like social friends, you know, like go out to dinner or that type of thing.
He speaks, whether it's flat out in your face or not, seems like he speaks highly of you.
Yeah, no, he seems to like me, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Not that he likes me, I can
So we have an item on the agenda. It's a permit revocation for Huckleberry Finn Youth Hostel. We don't have sufficient information on that revocation at this time. So what I would like to recommend to the board, at the advice of council, is that we table that item until we get further clarification.
We'll move to table the Huckleberry Finn Youth Hostel matter.
Second.
Okay? Moved and seconded for tabling. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie is excused. Director Rundy.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Ross.
Aye.
Director Moore.
Aye.
Director Gray.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye, tabled. I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting from last Tuesday, May 3rd, 2016. Are there any questions or comments on the minutes? Seeing none, I'll take a motion, please.
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Moved and seconded for approval. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie is excused. Director Rundy.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Ross.
Aye.
Director Moore.
Aye.
Director Gray.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye, the minutes are approved. Today's agenda, are there any questions or comments on the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second, previous row.
Okay, motion and second for approval has been a call for use of previous rule. Is there any objection for the use of previous rule? Seeing none, the agenda is approved. Motion for adjournment, please.
To adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, meeting adjourned.